Hey everybody, welcome to Robbie Rants Live. How are y'all doing out there tonight? First of all, we're trying some new things here tonight on the live stream, using some new programs, some new softwares, things like that. So, once you get in here, let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me, that everything's looking hunky-dory fine. But anyway, I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it is Rockin Robbie Live tonight. That's right, we'll be talking a little bit about some changes to the channel, some improvements, hopefully. What's up, everybody? We see we got a few people in here already, so let me know once everything starts looking good. I sound a little dizzy, or is the sound a little weird? Is that what you're saying? What's up with the sound? You see and you hear me sounds good? All right. All right, how's everybody doing? We're going to be chatting about this upcoming week's new comics for August 7th, 2019. That's where we're at right now. We'll be asking the question of the day, or of the week, I should say, which is, I haven't figured that out yet. Audio a little staticky, but can't wait for the angry rants. Sounds fuzzy, that's no good. Does that help the sound? Does this help the sound a little bit, y'all? Does this help the sound at all? And yeah, no intro music. I'll try to get that figured out. Sound is slightly echoey. Okay. What's up, Joel? Welcome here to Rockin Robbie Live, I should say. How are y'all doing? Monty's here, Don's here, S squared. No lower. Is that good if I do that? Because now I actually can control audio a little bit over as opposed to other times. Anyway, this is going to be a learning situation tonight. So, what's up, Eddie? How are you doing? It's lower, but the audio is still breaking. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. As long as it's not going to affect it too much, we'll have to be. Yeah, that's right, S squared. Too bad for Wildcats. I was, what's up, Miss Megan? Very bummed to hear about that Wildcat stuff. Really, sound is dying. It's getting worse. It was lower, now even lower. That's no good whatsoever. How's it sound now? Does it sound at all decent? Y'all? That's better? Okay. Well, hopefully it won't affect us too much. And hopefully I'll be able to figure out the audio issue. I may have to eventually start using... Oh, that's way better? Okay. A little better? Okay. Alright. Alright, well, kind of killing the first part of the stream here by just talking about the audio. Anyway, so we'll be looking at this upcoming week's comics. What's up, Reggie? How you doing? What's up, Moana Beast? So the first question I'm going to ask you is, what was your pick of the week last week, right? So my pick of the week was Man or Black #1, Cullen Bunn, Brian Hurt, Tyler Crook, I believe. Fantastic book, really loved it. Loved the composition, the artwork was majestic. It was so good, so creepy, so atmospheric, and I really liked the story. I loved it so much. A great introduction. The Yankees are playing the Red Sox tonight, by the way. They're in a rain delay right now. I was trying to get my stream going, but my ESPN app is not working with me. So we'll see what happens there. What's up, Paul? How are you doing? So what was your pick of the week for last week? Last week was a great week. Some fantastic comic books out last week. There was Test #2, She Said Destroy #3, Queen of Bad Dreams #3. There was that awesome reprint of Cult Classic. I'm just stuck on Vault right now. Of course, Man or Black. There was also Powers of 10. Some really great comic books last week. Just League Dark, the annual. Batman Who Laughs, absolutely. Yeah, Batman Who Laughs at Logan, absolutely. Really good stuff. So what was your favorite comic book of last week? Joe says favorite comics were Powers of 10 and Fantastic Four. I really liked this issue of Fantastic Four. It felt a little bit more classic. I saw some comments on the review that didn't necessarily think that way. But to each their own. You know, everybody's got their own opinions. I'm really liking it. I think Dan Slott right now is kind of zoning in on what he's trying to do. The setup's out of the way. Now he can just tell fun, classic Fantastic Four stories. That's what this one felt like. It felt like a nice Fantastic Four story. Classic. S Squared said he liked Paper Girls finale. That was a bittersweet book because I did not want that book to end, but it did end in a very interesting way. Man or Black, #1, Queen of Bad Dreams 3, and Powers of 10. I really loved Powers of 10. Hell, if we thought House of X had an info dump, whoa, Powers of 10 had a lot of information that it just shot out right out to us. Avengers 22, that's a good one. American Carnage, what a finale. What a crazy finale. That was a no-holds-barred final ending that just frantically struck a finality. Bruce says House of X was better than Powers of 10. I would say, I get what you're saying. House of X, I think, was a more solid debut issue into something. Powers of X was kind of like an appendix to that. And it kind of like took the ideas that were established in House of X and threw them out into the future, revealed a little bit about the past. Man, I loved it, though. I loved it. I think there are going to be two different books that work in unison. And very excited for that. I know no one will review Red Hood, but does anyone know who was Wingman at the end of issue 36? Sorry, off topic and old. I don't read Red Hood, so I'm not sure. If anybody can help Bawana Beast out, who was Wingman at the end of issue number 36? What's up, One God Tank? How are you doing? Oh, that Ice Cream Man 13 was such a treat. It was so good. It was a palindrome, so it read the same frontwards to backwards. Like, you could read it backwards, you could read it forwards. Man, I really liked it. I thought it was amazing. That book is so surreal, so weird, so sickly sweet, and just filled with the depths of melancholy and a hopeful despair. I love that book so much. Reggie says his picks of the week were Powers of 10, Men Are Black, and Killers. Killers was actually really good. I liked it. Aside from Incursion, there hasn't been a lot of recent offerings from Valiant, aside from Livewire, I guess. Livewire and Incursion. But Killers was something I really liked. Good, hard, just fast, dynamic action, very kinetic. I really liked it. I thought that was pretty solid. Logan liked the Venom Annual. I didn't check out that Venom Annual. It was part of the Acts of Evil thing. I had a big stack already. Some of them pretty hefty and big, like Last Night on Earth. I loved Last Night on Earth number 2. So I decided to skip the Venom Annual and see if I hear good things about it and go back and read it later on. Yeah, House of X is the main book. If you just followed one of them, it would be House of X. But you should definitely follow Powers of 10 as well. But it did not have, Powers of 10 didn't have quite an impactful flow like House of X number 1 did. But Powers of 10 to me was really good as far as adding on to that stuff. What's up, Adam? Yo, how you doing? My thoughts on Die. A lot of people, Bakari, are digging on Die right now. Me personally, I think I really did like it. I thought it was okay, but I'm not really a big RPGer or anything like that. So it kind of got lost in the stacks, as I call it, and I've decided to trade weight that. Of course, now the first trade's out, so I definitely need to get on that. So I'm not seeming to be able to stream the Yankees-Red Sox game tonight, so if anybody happens to be watching that, please keep me up to date if and when it starts. It's supposed to start in about 5 minutes, so we'll see what's going on. Death Battle has Spawn next week. DBX by Death Battle has Venom versus Spawn next week, and you get to vote who will win. Well, let's be honest about this, Joe. As much as I am loath to say this, I definitely think Spawn would beat Venom. Yeah. I hate to say that, but if you look at the power set, you know, I don't know. I don't think Venom could handle Spawn. Speaking of Spawn, we'll have an announcement later on about the PCP poll winner. PCP Army poll winner. Anybody else want to throw in their picks of the week from last week? Here we go. Powers of 10 and Justice League Dark Annual. Yes, CJ, I know it's on ESPN. I got my ESPN app right here, and it's not connecting. It's telling me that it can't connect to the server. And so, I mean, I could have it on the TV on the other side of the wall right there, but I couldn't watch it. But if anybody does check it out, and like CJ said, it's on ESPN, so if anybody wants to flip on ESPN, let me know when the... could the symbiote infect Spawn? Now that's an interesting-ass idea. That's a really interesting idea. What would a Spawn symbiote, like a Venom Spawn, look like? Whoa. Because immediately I'm thinking Spawn wins because okay, I'm not the biggest Spawn guy. Spawn do like fire stuff. Can't Spawn make fire stuff happen? Is that part of it? I don't know. Maybe Venom wins. It's in a rain delay right now, but I don't know. They say it's going to start at 7:15. Justice League Dark was heartbreaking. That was a good issue though. Ron V, writer of The Savage Shores, Paradiso. Fantastic writer. He co-wrote that one with James Tynion. Carnage versus Spawn, I would say Spawn. I mean, I don't know. I need to know more about Spawn's power set, to be honest with you. I have this really random, vague idea of Spawn's power set from like the movie, the animated series, and like the first 10 issues. I've been thinking, actually, we're going to do, so Comics Revisited Season 2 has started. I hope you checked out the first episode, Marvels. Me and Jelani talking about Marvels. It is the 25th anniversary of Marvels, so that's appropriate. The second episode comes out this Thursday. It's me and Brooks talking about Maximum Carnage, because Absolute Carnage is out pretty soon. We'll be talking about that. So we're doing another audience poll pick for Comics Revisited Season 2. And I'm thinking about putting the first 25 issues of Spawn on that poll. Wouldn't that be funny? I don't know, it'd be neat, right? 3 of those issues are written by Grant Morrison. 1's written by Neil Gaiman. How bad can it be? And Spawn's picking up a lot of steam on its way to 300. And, yeah, anyway, that all came because I need to be a little bit more clear on what Spawn's actual power sets are. Can he just fire guns? Can he just do crazy things with his cape? I'm imagining he's got some kind of hell powers or something like that. I don't think that's enough for... I think that's too much for Venom and Carnage to handle individually. Did anyone grab Funeral Pyre? Supposed to be a jumping on point for Absolute Carnage. I read Funeral Pyre, the recent one, the Web of Venom one-shot. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was great, and it might as well have been Absolute Carnage number 0. It was pretty much a direct lead into the first issue of Absolute Carnage. Do the Max on Comics Revisited. That's a decent suggestion. We like the Max. I know that Brooks is a big Sam Keith fan, so am I. So that'd be interesting to do the Max. We should. We should. So I will point out to everybody that you should hit that thumbs up button right now. Hit that like, crush it, as some people say. There's also a super chat function here where you can tip the channel in a way to get your comment highlighted. You don't have to highlight your comment for me to see it or for me to want to get to it or anything like that. But it's a nice way to tip your fellow live streamer. I don't know. Anyway, but it's down there in case you want to use it, support the channel. So thank you guys so much. One of the new things that we're doing right now is, thank you so much, Flickin' Stuff. How are you doing? Man, that Max cartoon, Brian, was super cool. And welcome, Brian. What's up, Comic Collector? How you doing? So I want to thank everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate all the support we get. People watching the videos, people liking the videos, people commenting, people going on to Patreon, people going on to the PCP Army on Facebook, people following me on Twitter at the Rockin Robbie, things like that. I just really, really appreciate it. And I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, tell you guys, thank you so much for everything. We're about to be getting into what's coming up this week in new comics. Very excited about that. I read that Bendis will do a Super Sons and Superman in October. Hope it's fun. That would be a cool idea, Joe. I really have already started missing Super Sons. I already missed Jonathan Kent as a young... okay, so when Bendis first came on to Superman, I was, I'm always like this. I always tell people, let's just wait and see what happens. It may be good. It may not pan out to be good. Let's just see. And at first I really loved Brian Michael Bendis' Superman. I was more paying attention to... is he understanding the importance and the gravity of the character of Superman? And I fully believe that Bendis gets that. I love the way that he writes the character of Superman, okay? I love the way he writes the majority of his characters across every single bit of his work. But man, this one story has been just thinly drug out for so long now. I don't care about Rogal Zar anymore. I don't care about... I'm not so super cool on Jonathan being aged up again. I know it's something that happens all the time. you know, to be honest, I was expecting Jonathan Kent to be dealt with already and like kind of undone by like another crisis event or something like that. So the fact that Jonathan's still there is kind of like, wow, that's cool. But I really like that dynamic of the younger Jonathan and Superman trying to be a father. He's already been a father to the superhero community for so long, but it's different when you're an actual father. Peter Tomasi was doing such a good job of exploring that, like he did on Batman and Robin, with Batman struggling to be a father to Damian, right? And it was kind of like the same story, but on different perspectives, different sides. I loved it, and I kind of miss it. I really, really do. Really do. What characters are you waiting for the new X-Men run? Mine are Phantom X and Chamber. Well, here's the thing. Is Xavier still possessing Phantom X's body? Is that why he's acting so weird? Is that why Xavier's given up on his dream of peaceful coexistence between mutants and humans? Why is he doing what he's doing all of a sudden? Why is he making ultimatums? Why is he doing demands? Why is he like putting up, medicine up, with an ultimatum behind it, basically? Why is he wearing Cerebro at all times? I'll tell you this, in story, whenever someone's covering their face, there's a reason for that. The reason could be it's not Xavier. A lot of people thinking maybe it's the Maker. I think that's a little too on the nose, just a little too much, right? But maybe it is, right? I think it's 100% Xavier. But what has being in Phantom X's body done to Xavier? He's a different Xavier now, ever since he's come back as X. It's a different Xavier now. Is that what Jonathan Hickman's getting at, or is he doing something completely fresh, something different? Does it have something to do with the Black Seed? What does that do? There's a lot of questions. 2 issues in, and I'm loving this stuff. So is Phantom X going to show up, or is he already there as Xavier, as X? I don't know. I'm really pumped to see some Nightcrawler action. I love Nightcrawler. Chamber is going to be in the New Mutants book, right? Coming out in October, November, whatever. What I'm really nervous about is that Nightcrawler's not on any of those teams. Of course, there are some more books to come. I hear that Vita Ayala is going to be on one of those. I'm very excited for that. They wrote my favorite issue or series in the Age of X-Men run, which was Prisoner X. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. We have not gotten our Red Death Pops in yet. I'm looking forward to it, though. I have the Batman Who Laughs pop. I missed out on the Dawnbreaker, so I gotta get that one. But I am looking forward to the Red Death pop. But we have them ordered, but we have not got ours in yet. James Donahoe. Let me tell you guys something about James Donahoe. Whenever I'm doing a podcast or we're doing a movie review or something like that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to watch this movie, and I don't have access to it either in my library or on my streaming services, James Donahoe has always come through for me and has always delivered. And right now, for instance, I got Robinson Crusoe on Mars over there on Blu-ray, Criterion Blu-ray. I'm excited to watch that for the first time because we are doing a 60s sci-fi podcast for our next podcast, and I'm looking forward to that. So James, thank you so much. And I'll tell you what, that is an absolute great idea for Comics Revisited, is Hitman by Garth Ennis. It's a lot of issues. One thing that we're trying to do now in Comics Revisited, I got way far behind on the work in season 1 because we were doing these big, epic chunks of story, like 40, like 25 to like 50 issues sometimes, right? And it's much easier to to read and reflect and come up with ideas for things like The Killing Joke or The Authority or Maximum Carnage or Maxwell's Demons or something like that than it is, hey, by the way, Brooks, read these 60 issues of something and then we're going to talk about it. So the time kind of limited that. However, there are planned breaks in Season 2 of Comics Revisited, and Hitman by Garth Ennis would be something really, really cool. Do you have it all available? Because I do not have well, I bet we might at the store have every single issue, actually. Now I think about it, but that's a good one. That's a really good suggestion, James. Just reread Powers of 10, such an awesome story being told. I agree, Russell. When I did a reread of it, it really came across a lot more fluid. It really felt a lot better for me. I get what you're saying, Slime. It's the Bendis cycle on some books. In some books, I'm cool with that cycle. And even on some books where it's like his Avengers run. His Avengers run, I was always like, this is just kind of like meandering around, right? But when he announced that he was moving over to DC, I did a reread of all of his Avengers work from New Avengers to Mighty Avengers to Dark Avengers to Avengers, all that stuff, starting with Disassembled all the way through. And it really read so well together. But it was because with Bendis books, you can read so much so quickly, right? So like 20 issues of a Bendis book is actually kind of a super quick read and kind of comparable to probably like an 8 to 12 issue trade or something from anybody else. But yeah, so I don't know. I hope that Superman is going to do this. I'm reorganizing some comic book stuff, trying to get it all more in order, so that I can get it have more readily available access to it. So I'm going to get together all my Bendis Superman stuff and do a reread of it and see what happens. Maybe it is. The question is Bendis dropping the sales of the Superman title? I bet the Superman book is selling more than it traditionally does in recent years, because Superman has never been a top seller. I think Bendis' name being on there has actually boosted sales on the book. I would actually have to do some research to see if that's continued. I'm sure there's been some drop-off for sure. At my shop there's been drop-off, but at my shop right now, Superman is outselling what it typically does because of the power of the name of Bendis. And that's why they hired him. That's why they gave him Superman. So, my take on Knights Temporal. I really thought Knights Temporal was a decent first issue, but it wasn't great. I feel like it had a lot of ideas that were left not said yet, and if you read the solicitation, you get an idea of maybe what they're going to do, and that sounds really cool, but I don't feel like the first issue really did a great job of hooking you in and really enticing you with the story and in a compelling and engaging hook at the end. That being said, I really did like the artwork in that book, and I do like the idea of it. I just feel like it's going to take 2 issues to really get into it. Can't wait to see what dark area they stand around and talk in the next Event Leviathan issue. That's funny, Comic Collector. Yeah, Event Leviathan's not doing it for me. Event Leviathan, and it doesn't feel like an event. It doesn't feel big. It should be. It just feels weak. It feels anemic to me right now. It's a lot of great dialogue and a lot of really nice art of people standing around talking. I love Alex Maleev's artwork. His line work is getting cleaner, and I really like that, especially over at the DC side. But man, this story's not doing anything for me right now. James got the whole Hitman series and trade, so we're covered yet again. James, you're awesome. Thank you. Joe, you're 100% right. It would be so super cool to do Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. I love both of those books, 1 and 2. I really love Secret Wars 2. It's so silly. It's so not good. It's so terrible, but I just love Secret Wars 2. Secret Wars 1 is fun, and that's neat. But man, I just Secret Wars 2 is bad, but I love it so much. Yeah, we'll definitely have to do those. We don't have any plans to do Secret Wars in this season, so I'll definitely maybe have to add that to the poll. But Wannabeast, I saw your comment earlier. I don't have any acetate covers right now to show off. I have the original Marvels issues, but they're like buried somewhere right now. But what it is, it's going to be so there's a cover, right? And then there will be like this plasticky cover that's around it, okay? And the plastic cover will have probably the logo on it, and maybe some other information, maybe some words, or maybe some additional art or something. And when you fold that plastic over the cover, it makes a full image of whatever's behind it and with the logo or whatever's on top. But the cool thing about acetate covers is you fold them out, and then you probably will have like Virgin artwork behind it or something like that. So if you look at what the Marvels book was originally released as in 1994, you'll get a little bit more clearer of an idea of what that is. Any idea what the big fuss is about the next House of X? I don't know, but we'll find out Wednesday, won't we? Speaking of Wednesday, let's look at this upcoming week's new comics. So new comics for August 7th. From Dark Horse, we've got Berserker Unbound #1. That's a new one from Jeff Lemire, Mike Deodato Jr. It's basically Conan in modern times. Really, really super cool. I'm excited for this. Lemire and Diodato did excellent work on the Old Man Logan book together, so I'm really excited to see where they're going to go with this. Did Diodato do Old Man Logan with Lemire, or did he only come on with the Brisson run? No, it was before that, right? Anyway, very excited for that. Super excited. Also, we've got, oh man, and there's a Mike Mignola variant, so be on the lookout for that. No One Left to Fight #2 is here. Issue #1 took the comics world, by storm. We loved it. I loved it. It's kind of like a Dragon Ball Z type thing. Really, really fun. The second printing of #1 and the first printing of issue #2 is out this week. That's super, super cool. That's from Dark Horse this week, so be on the lookout for those. Those are some excellent choices for your comic book pleasure this week. Logan's already excited for Berserker Unbound. I know a lot of people will. So S Square, okay, so he just did it with Brisson. Now you can imagine how great that would, because it was Sorrentino. Was it? Yeah, it was Sorrentino. Anyway, IDW. Dick Tracy Forever #4 is out this week. H.G. Wells' The Island of Dr. Moreau #1 is out this week. My Little Pony Feats of Friendship #1. Let's see, a second printing of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #95. Transformers #10. Transformers Ghostbusters #3. And Walt Simonson's Star Wars Artist Edition hardcover comes out. Those are expensive, but they're really cool if you ever get a chance to get one. From Dynamite, what do we have this week? We've got Charlie's Angels versus the Bionic Woman #2. We've got The Death-Defying Devil #1. We've got Elektra, Mistress of Dark #8. Kiss Army of Darkness #1. No, that's a remark thing. Never mind. Don't worry about that. Kiss End #4 is out this week, though. We got Obey Me #5. That's the final issue. Dynamite has all these weird things sometimes. Rebecca. Red Sonja, Vampironica. Red Sonja, Vampirella, Betty, and Veronica. #3 is out this week. That was a mouthful. Let's see, what else? That's Dynamite. What are y'all saying? Devil. #1 pick. Always excited for a new Lemire book. Yes, me too. From Boom Studios, we've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer #7. I'm liking that book. We got Giant Days #53. I hear great things about that book. Over the Garden Wall, Soulful Symphonies #1. Ronin Island #5. And Woods Yearbook Edition, trade paperback, Volume 2. I hear good things about the Woods, but I've never read it. Never read it. Wonder if I'd like it. From other publishers, we got Archie, The Married Life, 10 years later. So 10 years ago, they married Archie in a comic book, and they, like, was it going to be Betty or Veronica? Didn't they do, like, both? Whatever. Anyway, this is a follow-up to that. What is the Archie life like 10 years after being married? Baby Teeth returns this week from Aftershock Comics and Donny Cates. Issue #15 releases on Wednesday. Battle Cats Volume 2 #3 from Mad Cave Studios. Dark Age #1 from Red 5 Comics. Dead End Kids #1. That's a new one from Source Point Press. Also from Source Point Press. Samurai Grandpa #2. Hopefully my shop will get our copies in on time this time, because I really loved issue #1. I thought it was great. I talked about it in last week's weekly comic book review. From Valiant, we have Fallen World #4. From Ahoy, we have Hashtag Danger #4. From H1, we've got Ignited #3. From Roman Dirge, we got Lenore Volume 3 #1, a brand new Lenore book coming. That's really exciting. From Comics Tribe, we have Sync #10. We'll get to the big three here in just a second, but let me look at some comments here. Any thoughts on the Zeke holdout with the Cowboys? Wow. I am not, by the way, as most of y'all know, I am not a, has the game started yet? I am not a football analyst or expert or anything like that. I am a Cowboys fan, though, and I'll tell you this. I don't like it because it hurts the Cowboys. It hurts, like, our chances, right? I think it's... Zeke is definitely one of the reasons why we are where we're at right now, right? I am all about the Cowboys this year, and I hope that they can get this figured out, because he is worth the money. But holding out for more money, there's a piece of you that is like, oh, come on, man, come on. But he's worth so much more than what they're paying him right now. I understand that. But on the other side, I understand what the Cowboys like when we got you under contract, right? Now, a lot can be said about the different sports professional and the different contracts and the different all this different stuff, right? So I hope they work it out. I hope they come to terms. I would hate to see like a Le'Veon Bell situation develop out of this and kill our chances. I think without Zeke, we don't have a good chance of making a run for the Super Bowl this year. That being said, we got Dak, we got Coop, and they're already trying to pay some top dollar to them. So you're thinking about overall money? I don't know. So my thoughts are, I hope they work it out soon, and I hope they give Zeke a little bit more money, and I hope he starts playing. I hate it on both sides, I guess. Dark Age does look pretty decent. There was a free comic book day book about that one, but it's been so long. I'm sure I could say it if I try it. Is it Sayokio Sabete? I don't know. You said it was Japanese. I just don't. I'm sure if I made the effort. The big three, The Walking Dead get uncanceled. Kidding aside, I'm curious how Image will do without such a major seller. I think Image sales are fine. I think they will be fine. It is a big seller, but it wasn't always the biggest seller. It's been a huge seller over the last few years, but that was starting to dwindle a little bit. But Image pumps out some really good content. They have a really good business model, it seems. They got some good stuff set away from it. So, and yeah, it wasn't canceled, Slime. But you know, Robert Kirkman did say that there was going to be, he had a way to bring it back if he wanted to, and he said, like, basically it was like, I'll give it 2 years, and if it doesn't work, yeah, we're up. Yankees are up 1-0. That's awesome. So he's got a backdoor back into The Walking Dead, and I think it involves Negan being out there. Sayokio, is that Sayuk? 4 out of 5? 4.5 out of 5? Okay. Is the audio off? Is it tinny? Is it fuzzy? Is it off? Like, I've been having some issues with that on this new thing. Anyway. I want more Little Bird too, Brian, and next year we're going to get more Little Bird. Not more Little Bird, but we'll definitely be getting more stories in that world. What's that book called? Precious Metal or something like that? Crackly? Okay. I think next week I'll start trying to play. I'll figure out the audio on the. I think I'll just start using a microphone instead of the webcam audio. That's what I'm using right now. Probably not for the best, but it spent a lot of time just trying to get the video to start working right today. So far we've already looked at some really great comic books coming out this week. Let's see what's coming out from Image. We got Birthright number 38. We've got Coffin Bound number 1. It's a new one from writer Dan Waters, who's writing Lucifer right now. He wrote Deep Roots, the Vault Comics book that I absolutely loved. I have read Coffin Bound number 1. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's kind of like a Grindhouse version of The Sandman. There is an advanced review for that on the channel right now, so you should check that out. Crowded number 8 is out this week. Die number 6, so Die does return this week. That's very exciting. We got some Image firsts out this week. We got Kick-Ass number 16, Outcast number 42, and I recently heard a rumor that Outcast is ending at issue 48. What's going on? Why's Kirkman ending all of his books? What's he got planned? Postal Deliverance number 2, Sea of Stars number 2 is out this week. Section 0 number 5, Space Bandits number 2. It's a big week for Image. Thumbs number 3, thumbs up for Thumbs. I love that book. Good stuff. And Witchblade number 15. We'll jump over to DC here in just a second. Also, the thing with Zeke is that he will lose an accrued season, unlike Bell, due to the rookie contract structure, so the Cowboys have a lot of leverage, but Melvin Gordon just turned down a raise. I just hope they fix it. I hope they work it out, and I hope they do it soon. Thank you, Logan. I really do appreciate that. Now that I've been doing previews 3 months ahead, I don't remember what I ordered. That's funny. So it's not a rumor. It's ending at 48. There you go. When you see things online, you never know. Just keep a list of your special orders. Like keep a notebook, something like that, you know, and just write down what you order and try to keep. I have a bad habit of I'll like see a trade and I'll order it and then like I'll forget about it, and then all of a sudden I have like 5 big giant complete collection trades come in. Coffin Bound's good. I like it. Okay. See, I squared. I just didn't know that. So I see DC has Ruby now as an adaptation of the manga. I don't know, maybe. I know that Ruby's kind of popular, isn't it? We sell a lot. Okay, I got my game cast going, but it's not letting me watch the actual game. It's upset. It's upsetting me. Anyway, let's see what's coming out from DC this week. I really do appreciate everything, y'all. This has been fun. From DC, we've got Batman number 76 out this week. Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 4. We've got Deceased number 4 out this week with a really cool Joker cover and a Final Destination homage cover. Never thought those words would come out of my mouth. Deathstroke number 46 is out this week, and Dark Gifts, by the way, is starting in full. Doom Patrol Way to the Worlds number 2. The Dreaming number 12. Green Lantern number 10. Harley Quinn 64. Justice League 29, Prelude to Doom War. Very excited for that one. Lois Lane, number 2. Sinestro, The Year of the Villain one-shot. Number 1 is out this week. And Superman, Up in the Sky, number 2 is out this week. And then we'll jump over to Marvel here in just a second. Is Priest really dropping off Deathstroke at 50? If so, where do you want him? I haven't heard that, but I wouldn't doubt it. 50 issues is a long time. Where would I like Christopher Priest to land? Batman? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? The League of Comics Geeks website is how I keep track of my books. That's what Slime says. End of the first inning, Yanks up 1-0. Super cool. S squared still works by memory. So that's super cool. All right. From Marvel Comics this week, we've got Absolute Carnage number 1. So excited for this book. So excited. I'm such a Carnage fanboy. It's going to be hard not to buy every single cover of every single Carnage-related book coming up. Arrow number 2 is out this week. Agents of Atlas number 1, the new miniseries, I should say. Black Cat number 3. Think I'm skipping out of Black Cat now. I liked the first issue. I was surprised, but the second issue didn't do much for me. Champions number 8 is out this week. The final issue of Cosmic Ghost Rider Destroys Marvel History is out. Daredevil number 9 is releasing this week. Deadman Logan number 10. Future Foundation number 1. Very excited for that. Had a little tease into that one at the last issue of Fantastic Four. We've got House of X number 2. Super exciting. A lot of covers again. Immortal Hulk number 22, which is ending at 25, we hear. Invisible Woman number 2 is out this week. Major X number 0, because 6 was not enough. Apparently. What else we got? Old Man Quill number 8. Punisher number 14. Savage Avengers number 4. Sensational Spider-Man Self-Improvement number 1. Some kind of one-shot or something. Star Wars number 70. And looks like that's about it for comics this week. What are you most excited for? Me? I'm super excited for Absolute Carnage. Absolutely. Super cool. League of Comics Geeks is key for my pull list management. Russell says he's agreeing there, so I haven't checked it out. I need to check it out. League of Comics Geeks. Joel, my Old Man Quill, I thought it was okay, but it didn't grab me as much as Old Man Hawkeye. Definitely not as much as the Old Man Logan, Dead Man Logan stuff. So I quit reading it a few issues ago. I probably will read that one maybe once it's all done. S squared, I'll tell you this. At 38, my memory's starting to not be as crisp as it used to be. So I've definitely had to start writing more things down. But I'm also just doing more nowadays, too, probably. So that might have something to do with it. Alright, so we talked about our picks of the week. We talked about other things. The new comic books coming out this week. I'm very excited for Absolute Carnage. What are you most excited for this week? How excited are you for Absolute Carnage? Anybody getting in on that? I know that we just had War of the Realms, and I know that Year of the Villain's going on, but it's not quite as extensive, you know, because it's kind of, you just need to read Justice League for that. But man, I'm so pumped for Absolute Carnage. If you could have a DC old man Who would get the treatment? Same with Indy. Old Man Hellboy. That'd be super cool, but that story's kind of ended. But that would be neat. You know, an Old Man Hellboy. An Old Man Madman would be pretty fun, too, as far as Indy goes. As far as DC, Old Man Aquaman. That sounds super cool to me. Let's do it. I still take some notes with that many books out there. Heck yeah, you have to. You know, Joe, I'm right there with you. Afterlife with Archie is amazing. Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, that was decent. I don't know when they're in or if they're going to come back. You know, especially with Sabrina being a big hit. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't think it's the artists. I think it's the writer. Because, what's his name? Roberto Aguirre Sacasa or something like that? I can't remember. He's show running like Riverdale and Sabrina now, right? Or something like that. Or he's doing one of them. So, wasn't there a gray-haired Aquaman? Probably, at some point. Reggie's excited for Absolute Carnage and Future Foundation. Too many tie-ins for Absolute Carnage, which turns me off. Well, Logan, here's the thing. With any of these events, all you have to read is the main series. All of the secondary side stuff, that's what it is secondary. It's just supplemental, right? And they may not all be good. I'm super pumped for this one. And you can, of course, follow us here at the weekly comic book review. And I'll let you know which ones are actually good, which ones are actually important to the main story. And also just how good that main story is. But if events are not something that, you know, it's just not your bag, it's not your bag. And that's okay, too. Nothing wrong with that. Old Man Shazam, that'd be neat. Now, when Billy's like 21 or 31, like, does he change into, like, does he look like Shazam? Or will Shazam age? Probably not. Probably wouldn't age, right? Alright, a couple things I want to talk about real quick. First of all, Robbie Rants has been retired. The title, Robbie Rants, has been retired. If you noticed, I don't know if anybody noticed, but on this week's, I did an advanced review for Coffin Bound. I did the weekly pop culture wrap-up. Neither of them had the Robbie Rants logo on it or anything like that. Over time, I started realizing that the rants led into a connotation that people thought I was going to be like griping about things. So that's not what I wanted to be shown out for this channel. And over the last like 6 months or so, and I've talked about some of this with some of the patron subscribers, but I've been wanting to retire this for a while now, and I was just trying to figure out what to do. And then I was thinking about Robbie Raves, Robbie Rambles, and then I was like, you know what? They are what they are. Let's just do it, right? So we've retired Robbie Rants as a title, right? However, I will say this. If you look in the description of videos that would have been Robbie Rants, because any video that's typically me standing alone in front of the camera just rambling with no script, those are what Robbie Rants were. I will continue, like Marvel does, the legacy numbering in the description boxes, mostly for my benefit, so I know how many of these things I've done consecutively. And we hit 350 with the Coffin Bound. So that was really cool. And I'm sure maybe one day I'll do like a Robbie Rants 500 special. I'll be like Marvel a little bit and be like, hey, even though we haven't been calling it Robbie Rants, this is the 500th episode. But anyway, that's what we're doing. Robbie Rages. I like that. That's funny. That's really funny. But so if anybody was wondering, that's what's up with the Robbie Rants thing. We have officially now retired that title. But what did you think of the new thumbnails? Curious. Robbie reveals. That could be spicy. Do you know what I'm saying? That could be spicy. But Wannabees, I'm interested to see the year of the villain Sinestro soon. Don't really understand his powers yet. Sinestro's powers are the same as a Green Lantern. He's got a ring, and the ring makes his ideas come alive. He's just like Green Lantern, but the Green Lanterns use the green energy, which is will, and Sinestro uses yellow energy, which is fear. So instead of taking in the ability to overcome fear to project a construct, Sinestro uses the ability to instill fear into a construct. Robbie strikes. There you go. All nice suggestions. But sometimes I think we're thinking nowadays that just advanced review, weekly comic book review, weekly pop culture wrap up, that works. right? But we'll see. But like I said, that Legacy Robbie Rants numbering will still be in our description, just like Marvel. Robbie Reviews. You know, Russell, I can't believe I never thought of Robbie Reviews. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Oh, the new purple one. That's right. Robbie Ruminates. I like that one too. Y'all got some good ideas. But Wanna Beast, that one is based on Robbie's hobbies. I like that. Toby, thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate the tip there. Robbie's hobbies is nice because it doesn't have the alliteration, but it does have the rhyme. So that's pretty cool. Huh. I have to think about that. That's pretty decent. That's a really good one. I like all of these suggestions. But thank you, Toby Bopper, so much from the bottom of my heart for the donation. The purple spectrum, the ultraviolet spectrum, it's based on shame. It's based on hidden emotions, right? So you've got the emotional spectrum of will, fear, rage, love, hope, and then you have like the underbelly of that. These are the shameful emotions, the guilt, envy, shame, stuff like that. So that's kind of what he's using for that, in a way. Joe says he hopes Gollum does Venom 2. That could be cool. What, Andy Serkis has directed a film, but I don't. Which one was it? I don't remember. Robbie's Rucksack. The Robbies. You know, I know a few Robbies. We should have a Team Robbie stream one night. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? I think so. I appreciate the suggestions. And Toby, I really do appreciate the tip in the ye old tip jar down there. Thank you so much. All right, I haven't come up with a question of the week yet. Anybody want to? Okay. Someone suggest a question of the week, and we'll all talk about it. And as we're getting suggestions for Robbie scores, as we're getting suggestions for that, let's talk about the poll winner. That's right, over at the PCP Army. So if you haven't joined the PCP Army yet, you definitely should. It's our official Facebook group for Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm there. Jelani's there. Justin and Drew are there. Jeremy's there. A whole bunch of us, a whole bunch of our friends, fans, and followers and family. We all get together and we talk about pop culture. We share funny images. We share news. We share trailers. We have discussions. We have polls. So for the movie reviews, we're kind of in a little bit of a slump, a little bit of a downtime right now for the movie reviews, right? So these are perfect moments for us to like do an audience poll. We pick 5 movies usually on a theme, and we let the audience over at the PCP Army, we let everybody vote on what's going to win. So I'm about to announce the winner. This one went on for a little bit. So the topic, or the theme, I should say, over at the PCP Army was that they were 90s superhero pulp hero movies. So it was Dick Tracy, Spawn, The Phantom, The Shadow, and Darkman, right? So we are willing to watch any of these movies and do a review, revisit it, if you will, right? The winner of the poll, and here's the crazy thing, this poll, every other audience poll we've ever done had a very clear, distinct winner from the first week onward. This one had a distinct winner, and then it had some catch-up done, and then for the last week, the top 2 were like this. And this morning, I woke up and I looked, and I told everybody 1 more week. So I woke up this morning and I looked, and the winner, by 1 vote, is Darkman. Darkman with Liam Neeson. So very excited. Me, Jelani, and Brooks are going to be covering Darkman for the poll. However, some people said that there was possible collusion involved in the poll because there wasn't such a clear, distinct winner at first, and the voting went for so long, right? We have been accused of allowing the poll to go on just long enough to allow Darkman to overtake Spawn. Well, that's not what happened. However, full disclosure, I originally voted for Dick Tracy, and then in that last week changed my vote over to Darkman. So me changing my vote did put it in the lead, but when I changed my vote, it did not put it into the lead. Okay? So, that being said, we are 100% going to do Darkman. We are also going to do Spawn. We're going to do both of them. Because if you took my vote out, it would be a tie. If you took Jelani's vote out, it would be Spawn. So, we are going to do both of them, Darkman and Spawn. Because why not? I'm very excited for Darkman. Am I as excited? Let me tell you about Spawn. When back in the day, was it 97 when it came out? Man, yeah, Dick Tracy was the one I wanted to do. I really did like the Spawn movie when it first came out. So, I'm anxious to see how it holds up, how it ages. I don't think it's going to age too well, but I'm very excited. Maybe Darkman doesn't age very well either. So we're going to do Darkman and Spawn. Does that sound good? To get rid of all the scandal? We were accused of that. That's so crazy. Like, why would I do that? Like, I'll watch Spawn. Why? I don't put a movie on those polls that I'm not willing to watch. So there you go. I had a question about The Boys by Eddie. Yeah. No, I have not watched The Boys. I hear good things about it. I am not a fan of The Boys. I didn't really like the comic book that much, so I just decided to skip it. But I hear good things about it, and I think Drew is going to be working on a review blog for the website. I gotta actually ask him about that. What's up, Hammer Time? Yeah, I don't know. How does he talk and pronounce things? Sans lips. I have no idea. That should be open to discussion. Maybe that's one of the things that I'll ask Brooks and Jelani on the video. It was not voter fraud, wannabe, so I get that. I'm just saying that because it was so close for the first time, we had a poll so close, that we'll do both. That's cool. And yeah, why not? To celebrate issue 300 of Spawn. Well, why not? That's a great idea. You guys and gals and human beings, you have some great ideas. So thank you so much. Anybody have an idea for the question of the week? I haven't thought of one yet. Let's see. I was going to ask you what your favorite sports teams were, but we've covered that already. Everybody knows I'm a Yankees fan. I did that because the Yankees were playing. That's why I got the Aaron Judge right there. Got the old Batman book back there, signed by Jerry Ordway. Got my new Skeletor figure right there. Super cool. So here you go. This question of the week right here. Skeletor made me think of this. Yeah, Darkman 1 is a great movie. As far as I remember. 2 and 3? Didn't they do a 3? The 1 and 2, wasn't it the guy that played the Mummy in the Stephen Sommers Mummy movie? Joe, I'm right there with you. I'm not a big Conan fan, but I am a fan of the Conan book right now by Jason Aaron. Love it. What's that dude's name? Something like that. I really loved him in the Mummy. He was great. ESPN, the Oko is back this week. What are you more excited for? Kickball or pizza flipping? Kickball. Kickball is one of my favorite sports as a child. Right underneath baseball. Love playing kickball. We got some kickball leagues here in town. Good old homie and friend of the show, Rob Williams, plays in some. Alright, another Rob. Team Rob. Question of the week is going to be this. What is your favorite toy line from your childhood? Ooh, that's a good one. What is your favorite toy line from your childhood? There are a lot that I love. Masters of the Universe, Silverhawks, Thundercats, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If I had to pick one, DC's Superpowers. If I had to pick one. Oh, S Squared reminded me of Power Rangers. Oh, damn. I have more Power Rangers than I have superpowers, but I would probably give up all of my Power Rangers figures and toys and Zords and collections. I would probably give all of that up for an entire line of DC superpowers on card. 100%. Man, Power Rangers. Superpowers, Power Rangers, Secret Wars, the Toy Biz Marvel line, the Marvel superheroes, the X-Men Toy Biz line, He-Man. Transformers are like, I like the big ones. I like Optimus Prime, I like Megatron, I like Starscream, I like Soundwave, Thundercats. He-Man though, oh, I loved He-Man toys when I was a kid. Still do. Let's get some answers here. Logan and Bakari just said Mattel. Hell yeah, just Mattel, whatever. Yeah, that covers a lot. Absolutely. Transformers, says Joe. Ooh, the Batman waves. Yeah, I like that Dark Knight, the Kenner Dark Knight collection. Really cool stuff. Batman the Animated Series. That's some good stuff, too. Eddie says G.I. Joe and Transformers. Logan says Transformers. Bakari also says Thundercats. Chi-Town Bud says waiting for Alien Rescue issue number 2. Was it good? I hear good things. That was a Brian Wood one, right? Bwana Beast did more cards and games. Reggie says Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and He-Man. There you go, homie. You know, I love me some Star Wars toys back in the day, too. I used to go over, I had a babysitter or something, or a friend of the family or something. I remember they had the Jabba the Hutt set, you know, the figure with the little base or whatever. You could open it up and you could see, like, some bones down in there. I was obsessed with going over to that person's house, whoever it was. I don't even remember who it was. And just, I was obsessed with that, with going over there so I could play with their Jabba the Hutt. I love the Ninja Turtles figures, too. I had the Sewer playset. My homie George had the Technodrome playset. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. So there's my new Skeletor. Here's my new He-Man right here. I opened this up a couple weeks ago. But there it is. It's just like the old school He-Man figure, but it is a little bit more modern, and it has the coloring done to be reminiscent of the coloring from the animated series, which I think is super cool. You can tell that more distinctly on the Skeletor right there. So, yeah. Love the colors on those. Love the colors on those. Now he's not going to want to stand up right, because I moved him. Let's just set him back like that. There you go. Anyway, there's the He-Man again with his little action. Did not come with an axe, though, but whatever. It happens. Joe had the original Castle Grayskull. I did not. I had Snake Mountain, but I did not have Castle Grayskull. I wish I did. I wish I do now. I wish I had room to have Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain, and I guarantee you I would have them. Am I the only one who likes the Domino Solo series, also Hot Shots, because nobody talks about them? I wasn't really digging it when I first read it. I read the first issue of the Domino series by Gail Simone. I just wasn't feeling it. So, I know a lot of people at my shop, though, that really like it. So, anybody here like the Domino book by Gail Simone? So, all this talk of toys, which brings us to show and tell. Time for show and tell. Well, I just showed off the He-Man and the Skeletor. Again, I have not gotten the Hordak or the She-Ra yet, but be ready, because they're coming, and we're going to do an unboxing here. However, I did get some new goodies this week, and I want to show off. First of all, since we're talking about sports a little bit tonight, and we were talking about the Cowboys, I got 2 brand new in-package, on-card, starting lineup figures. That's another favorite toy line from my childhood, was starting lineup. Oh, I love starting lineups. When you get them now and you look at them, you're like, man, that looks so doofy. Speaking of doofy, though, there's my Troy Aikman that I just got this week. Very excited about that. So there's Troy in all of his glory. Good old number 8 for the Dallas Cowboys. The last time we were super relevant. And, of course, his star running back at the time. Number 22, Emmitt Smith. So I already have an Emmitt Smith starting lineup. I have the away jersey, the blue jersey. But now I got a different mold, and it's the white jersey. Very excited for these. Got Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith, 2 of my childhood football heroes. Starting lineups. Not going to open those ones up. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I hope Hickman does a Deadpool update. Could you imagine Jonathan Hickman doing what he wants to with Deadpool? Deadpool fans would probably hate it, but the rest of us would love it. Troy in the booth is so biased. I know, Bwana, and I think that's why I love Troy Aikman in the booth so much. I love it. Oh, we're so close to football time. Baseball is my jam, but football is my jam as well. Especially NFL and college team. So, yeah. But, yeah, I got those. Very excited for those. I got a buddy who's always giving me nice goodies from San Diego Comic-Con. And one of the ones that he got me for this Comic-Con was good old Teen Wolf. Right there, I shared this off. That protective case is making it a little hard to see. But there it is right there. So there's a Teen Wolf pop out right now. But this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive where he's in his like Letterman jacket holding the basketball. And I think that's super, super cool. I love this thing so much. It does have the San Diego sticker on it. And I think this was also available at like some retail store somewhere. Loved it. Bottom of the third, still 1-0. But I love Teen Wolf so much. We just recently did a sports movies podcast. So if you never checked out our podcast, you definitely should. You can subscribe over at iTunes and things like that. You can just also find it at our website, popculturephilosophers.com. We had a good time on the sports movies podcast, and I gave a shout out to Teen Wolf, even though it didn't quite make my top 5. It did make my honorable mentions, and honorable mentions always anger Hammer Time Holshin, even though he does them himself. And I wish he would do more. Everybody deserves an honorable mention or two, right? So I got that one, but I'm not going to open that one up just yet. But I got the Lord Draken from Power Rangers. I finally got this PX exclusive Lord Draken. That is, of course, evil Tommy Oliver of the future from the Shattered Grid story. We're going to be opening this one up tonight. That's what we're going to be doing. So let's just go ahead and do it. Pop! So, Lord Draken, or Draken, however you want to say it. He is kind of like the evil version of the Green Lantern from an alternate reality. He kind of has mix of powers from the Green Ranger and the White Ranger, so his costume is a mix. He's got the Dragon Dagger. He's got a little bit of the White Ranger idea behind it, though. Looks so freaking cool. Jason David Frank, who played Tommy Oliver, by the way, is going to be here in Huntsville next April for the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo, and I'm very excited for that. You should also make plans to be there to see him, a bunch of other guests that have been announced and more to be announced, and also just see Pop Culture Philosophers, because we will have a booth there, and we will hopefully be doing, yet again, another, what are they called? Panels. Yes. Yep, the poor box. But, you know, toys are meant to be displayed, and then played, and then displayed, right? I'm big into opening up your toys. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just wait. Delay that pleasure. You know what I'm saying? But that brings us to the end of Show and Tell, which brings us to the end of yet another live stream here, Rockin Robbie Live. I really appreciate everybody for joining us today. I really appreciate that donation. I really appreciate you guys liking, sharing, continuing to check out the videos. Upcoming this week, we got lots of excitement. We've got an advanced review for Maul #1 coming out by Michael Morisi. That was going to be ready for tomorrow morning, but I was way too busy today, didn't get a chance to do it, so I'm going to do it tomorrow night and have that released maybe late Monday night or early Monday or early Tuesday morning. Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, weekly comic book review will be here, so be on the lookout for that. Check out our podcast right now over at popculturephilosophers.com. Also, later on in the week, we're going to be having an advanced review from Mike Morisi and Tim Daniels, The Plot #1, a fantastic book. Really, really liked it. So check that one. Be on the lookout for that maybe around like Friday or Saturday morning. Thursday morning, the second episode of Comics Revisited Season 2. It's all about Maximum Carnage. Perfect because the day before, Absolute Carnage #1 is coming out. It's almost like someone planned that out. Anyway, me and Brooks talking about Maximum Carnage the day after Absolute Carnage comes out. Of course, if you are over at patreon.com/PCP and you support us there, you already have access to that episode and you can watch it right now and check it out. So I really do appreciate everything from everybody. Be sure to join us over at Twitter at The PCP Show, but we hardly ever update that. You can follow me personally, though, at The Rockin Robbie. And I got to give a big shout out to the editor-in-chief of Vault Comics, Adrian Wazzle, for tweeting out he shared me over on Twitter, and I got over 100 followers within 24 hours, helping me get closer to 1,000 followers on Twitter. So if you're on Twitter, follow me at The Rockin Robbie. Thank you so much, Reggie. I really do appreciate that. Y'all rock. This has been a very fun live stream. We're going to be here next week as well, talking about comic books, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more. Lots of excitement on the channel. We really do appreciate everything. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Reggie, thank you so much. Toby, thank you so much for your donations. You can support us over at patreon.com/PCP, or just hit that like button, comment, do all kinds of fun things like that. So we really do appreciate it. Y'all have a good one. God bless you. God's bless you. And just have a great night.